Welcome to another episode of the Type 15 podcast.
Let's go.
A long time between drinks, but we are back. And I'm here with my beer, Bailey Mears. Thank you for sending it through. Doesn't take off any on the tally, but it's just getting you ready for what is to come.
What's coming? 5 weeks' time.
I'm your host, Ryan, and joined with me is Tom and Marcus. Good to see you guys. How are you doing?
Good evening. I'm doing good. Feeling good.
It's good to hear. Tom, what is your drink of choice tonight?
I had just a nice water at dinner.
Yeah.
Had some salmon for dinner and some water.
Wow, what a combo. That's the winner's combo.
Yeah.
That's the third place overall on the beer table combo. Combo that you'd have at night. So well done.
The head-to-head table. I am third place on the head-to-head table.
Head-to-head table.
Crazy as it is. Yeah.
Which doesn't actually affect anything except for the final series, which we are still unsure of the number of participants. It's either going to be, we think, 6 or 8. But
we don't know. Right now, Marcus, you're hoping that it's 8, considering that you've fallen from 3rd to 8th this week. But we don't know. And in looking at the overall standings, there's a cluster of teams and players who are really close to the top 8. There's lots up for grabs to see who will finish in the finals, who will play in the playoffs. Just looking at that, actually, there's quite a few. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, do you think before we get stuck into it, should we just start shouting people out? Because that's the main reason people listen. I'm just going to say a few names. Sam Mears, Lucas, Gasper.
All right. Was that in an order? Was that in an order of something?
Now Tom's going to say some names. Let's say some names, Tom.
Brandon, Tom Job, and Geordie Armsworth. G'day.
Geordie Armsworth.
Oh, nice.
That's 3. Now, Ryan, your turn for some shout-outs.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Dave Murray. Hope you're doing well. Still remember that Richarlison captain from back in 4 or 5. Just want to shout out the Paxton brothers.
Hey.
I hope you guys are doing well tonight. And Lee Cartwright.
Daniel.
Always in my thoughts.
And Daniel as well. And Simeon.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But you touched on it before, Marcus. The beer table for the most recent set, game weeks 26 to 30. We've just finished the penultimate set, the second last one of the season, and we're going to quickly
penultimate. What is? Just remind Nikolai what that word means.
Yes,
I couldn't understand
Nikolai.
it.
Epping boys have failed you there. Penultimate, the second last one, the one before the final. So let's have a look at the beer table for the most recent set, and starting up on top, Luke Wheeler. Incredible. Luke Wheeler, you went through 4 game weeks without a loss, but you succumbed to a defeat from Simeon Cumberland, who's found himself in 2nd place. Miraculous recovery there from Simeon. A few more guys who had a 4-1 record this beer set. It's been a dominating performance from me, Tom Mulheron. Well done, brother. A great performance by you. Then we've got Daniel and Nikolai rounding out the beer receivers. So Luke gets 4 beers, Simeon 3, 2 to me, 2 to you, Tom, and 1 to Daniel and 1 to Nikolai. In the Malcolm zone, we have Sam Mears with a huge overall score of 327, which is the 4th best score in the standings. But unfortunately, he didn't get enough wins. So Sam's in the Malcolm zone, joined by Dave.
Home in the Malcolm zone.
Yeah, he is actually. He is, even in the overall standings.
Yeah.
He's joined by Dave, Geordie, Parlay, Lucas, and Tom Job. Lucas and TJ with some, last week heroics to get out of the owing zone and into the Malcolm zone. And here we go. The poor brethren who will be owing beers or who have owed some beers to their tally. We've got Lee, who fell 3 places in the final game week to 13th and 0-1 beer.
That's pretty good for Lee. That's a victory. That's a beer owing for Lee. To only be owing 1 beer from a set.
Yeah, that's true.
Well done, Lee.
Yeah, poor Lee. He's found himself in the beer owing zone quite a bit this season. And then Marcus, what's going on? You're down in the beer owing zone as well.
Yeah, it's a habit now. Just get sick of winning eventually.
And we've got Brandon, Perrin, Brian and Bailey. Brian and Bailey did not win a single match. They lost 5 from 5 in this beer set. Guys, what do you think about this beer table here? Anything that stands out to you?
Yeah, it's interesting that we haven't seen many 0-5s, but we saw 2.
Yeah.
I think Simeon did it first, the first cycle, the first 5 weeks. We haven't seen one until actually no, Sam Mears did it, but we haven't seen one until this week we got 2. So crazy times.
Yeah, and Brian's death in the chat has seemed to also led to his death in performances.
Yeah.
Which is has to be expected, I guess, but that's notable. And I think Luke's doing really well. That's a few times he's topped it, right?
Yeah, he's been up high like twice now. Like he's been very low and he's been very high. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, Luke crushed it. His overall score, 364. That's got to be up there with one of the best that we've seen.
That would be a great end of year stat to actually know the best overall score for a set.
Yeah.
Surely in the sets where people use their chips, it might be more inflated, but yeah, certainly a high one. Maybe seeing the highest above the average for that set would be quite interesting. But yeah, that's the beer table set for game week 26 to 30. Let's have a look now at the overall table, and this is where things get a bit interesting. The overall table, owing or those who will be receiving beers, and we've got 2 very clear leaders out in front. Lucas will be receiving 10 beers each. Wow, that's a lot. They're on their way to a case. Marcus, you're on 5, which is great, and you're really lucky you built up a solid tally.
And then just let it come crashing down. But that's all right.
I'm there with 4, and so is Parlay. I think we're pretty safe. Tom, you're on 3. Well done. You have been the surprise package.
I've just been consistent. I've only been down the bottom once, and then been to Malcolm's Zone a lot, and just two critical sets of 5 I got up there, and I've got my total of 3. Yeah,
that's enough. All you need.
Yeah. What advice would you give to some of those in the owing zone?
See, my advice: be really disciplined with your price rises. Check those price rises all the time. Read around on Twitter what's happening. I did a lot of reading around on Twitter since the start of the season. I think just those 2 things, and then you just the last 15-20% is luck of the draw on game day. Who knows? Injuries, that sort of stuff. But yeah, read around.
Yeah, it's good advice. Any Twitter accounts that you'd recommend? FPL and Zaggy?
Yeah, FPL and Zaggy. You can follow my account at Tom37148. Just look at all the accounts I follow, and you can follow them.
Wait, do you post?
I don't post. I just read. No, yeah, and comment and like.
He's a peeping Tom.
Surely that's the name. Yeah, FPL peeping Tom.
Good advice, Tommy.
Just reposts of other people's teams.
That's exactly.
It served you well. I think also having a look at this beer receiving zone, fantasy sports experience has helped, because you've got Marcus, Lucas, me, Tom Malheron, Luke, Nikolai, Simeon as well. All guys who have played a form of fantasy Premier League or fantasy sports before. And then the plebs, Dave, Brandon, Lee, Bailey.
Yeah.
I think they're being found out. I think their fantasy sports virginity has been found out.
It's been cruel to them.
I wonder what it actually changes, because, I don't know. FPL and NRL are so different. The fantasy sports are so different.
No, you're right. And he's in.
You learn patience. You learn patience.
Yeah, and I don't if you, let's say the first time I started playing fantasy, in my adult life, let's say, because I played a few years back when I was 13, but it was NRL last year, and I can't tell you, I couldn't write down a list of things I learned, but just by playing it, I'm just better.
Mm.
and I can't explain it. Yeah.
And you probably, sorry, another thing, you probably don't just look at good players in real life. It doesn't matter if they're good in real life.
Yeah, that's true.
Number of, they got this many points.
You've got to sell your soul. Yeah.
Well, that's the criticism that Lee has, and I don't agree. He says that fantasy Premier League and fantasy sports ruin watching the game because you want a certain player to do something. But I disagree. Fantasy Premier League has made me watch more Burnley and West Brom games than I care to admit.
Yeah.
I would never watch those games in the past. I'd only really just watch the Man United games.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Yeah. I'm watching everything now. Yeah.
You're a fiend for it now.
It's a drug. It is a drug, honestly.
Are you hooked?
Yeah, it's a drug. I couldn't see it stop if I tried.
Oh, seriously?
Like next season, if next season comes around and like there's not as much commitment to it, like I'll be playing by myself. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Really?
What are you gonna do in the off season? What are you gonna just watch review? Like,
well, I'll be playing NRL during the winter and then EPL during the summer, and that's enough. That'll cure the itch. Yeah,
that's so interesting. So
that is very interesting.
You're in, Tom. You're in.
It's a drug. Yeah.
When did it cross over? When did you cross over into the?
Yeah.
I think it was when I started reading around on Twitter, looking at price rises, and I got like I could see my overall rank going up, and I was like, I love this. I can actually do this.
That's
yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Because what's your goal? Isn't it the top 100K?
Oh, I didn't have a goal, but I'm now in the top 750K.
Yeah, nice.
Crazy. Yeah, I'm climbing every week.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, looking at the list of guys in the comp, do you think others have been bitten by the FPL bug?
Oh, Daniel definitely has.
Yeah.
Nikolai has been. He's been bit by the bug since he was born.
Yeah.
I think Luke especially as well.
Yeah.
Sam Mears as well really loves it.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I reckon it's come in waves for other people.
Yeah.
Like looking through, I reckon like Pez had a period where he was like into it.
Yeah.
And, like I think the season's been dragged on a bit. That's actually it. I feel a bit like that, like super into it at points, then other times like not. I think just having the breaks in between, you like don't think about it as much.
Are they helpful, those breaks? What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this. I feel the season's like super long, so it is just have like weeks of not doing it, which is super weird that like we spend so much time thinking about it. But it's actually pretty fun.
It's crazy how 30 game weeks have gone. It doesn't feel like
What about
Sometimes
Lucas?
it does.
How would you describe Lucas's relationship with fantasy?
Oh, he's full on addicted. Full on addicted.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it. I love it because I am too. Like I don't get as much time anymore to do. I don't play video games. I have some hobbies, but fantasy Premier League is just one of those things that you can easily do. And it just fits in with your lifestyle. You can engage as much or as little as you want. So I think it suits the way that kind of our busy lives work. Lucas is fully addicted. He's fully addicted. Yeah.
What's the depths of his addiction? Like, how do you know? What's the?
Oh, well, we're in a group chat together. He's always messaging me. He's lurking on Twitter. He's another peeping Tom on Twitter.
Peeping Lucas. Yeah.
A comment that Amy, his wife, made to me revealed his addiction, the level of addiction.
It's the girlfriend and wife that often is the undoing. You can act like you're not addicted, then you just like, it's one comment. Laura did the same for Brian, I remember. It's just big time. Anyway, what was the Amy comment? Yeah,
well, I saw Amy after maybe a year of having not seen her. And I said, hey, Amy, how you going? Blah, blah, blah. And she said, I've heard your voice more than many of the people I see daily this year. Because I'm always sending Lucas like audio messages and we're chatting away. We during the season, apart from the international break, Lucas and I will be chatting every day about FPL.
How many messages today did you get? Or did you?
Oh, quite a few this morning when I told him his lead has been cut from 62 to 3.
Oh no, that's no good. Actually, that Amy comment, isn't that more the height of like your addiction? Because like you're the one sending the messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's reciprocated. I'm not denying that I'm addicted. I'm not denying at all.
Yeah, that's true. It's just two addicts like trying to, I don't know, give each other.
Yeah, so speaking about different levels of engagement, that's a really interesting conversation. And it got me thinking about next season, right? There's a break. The season will finish in May, and then there's a break from May through to August, right? So the new season won't start till August. So you've got a few months there with no FPL. Now, I know that we've got 18 in our league. We won't have 18 next season. There will be people who will say thanks, but no thanks.
Too much, yeah.
That's fine. I completely understand that. But there might be people who come in. Yeah. What do you guys think about the way next season will look?
Yeah, actually, I think that's a good. I was thinking that as well. I think it's a good time to put it to the chat or to the guys listening, because they're the key ones who should have input on this. Like what you'd like to see change. I think the setup of what we got of every 5 weeks updating an overall table, that's really good. I was thinking possibly if we could like break the year in half, maybe, because then you'd get the fringe people who like fall away after like 20 weeks. But that might be too hard. Otherwise, I think like what we have is pretty good. And like maybe if we commit to like once a month we do a podcast rather than like every week and then nothing. And like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm open to like other suggestions. I think it's been really good there. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think honestly, I reckon with the chat, I reckon there's probably only gonna be 1 or 2 who don't play next year. I think that the chat's been too good for people. I think people will have seen the fun in that, and the, you know, I don't know if we'll do a podcast next year. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I don't see too many people dropping out.
I've been thinking a little bit about next season, and an idea that I had is something similar to, you know, the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, where you phone a friend or something like that, where for one beer set, you can kind of, before the beer set commences, if you're flagging, if you're thinking that, look, I need a break from this or whatever, you can nominate someone in the chat to represent you and to take care of your team.
That's sick. Yeah.
And they'll take care of your team for the 5 game weeks. You can be in conversation with them as much or as little as you like. That way your team's still engaged. The managers that you're versing aren't disadvantaged in any way or aren't advantaged by playing a zombie team.
Yeah.
But then you can re-engage at a later point.
I think that's really good. Can I actually add, you can edit this out, but I think this is actually I just thought of the most insane good wheel spin thing. Similar to that, we give it a funny name, but for that week, if it lands on you, or maybe it's for the week after if you win it, you get to pick someone who's, like, rather than it being your score that dictates how you went that week, you can nominate, I pick Lucas. Whatever score Lucas gets, that's actually my score for this week. Imagine that.
That would be
hectic.
amazing.
And then if he flops and you actually do better, then like joke's on you. I was thinking another thing could be like a tag team. Like for one beer set, we tag team it. So it's like
you're gonna do it
like versus.
Yeah.
Oh, but actually, it wouldn't work for the whole set, would it? Oh no, it could.
Would you do it like, for example, me and you are together, Marcus, and
that's 2 overpowered.
Our results are combined and our points are combined, and where we stand in the beer table. So if I win, that's 3 points to us. But if you win, that's 6 points.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
I think it would be at the end of the first beer set, like first 5 rounds, we go into the next one and it's seeded. So it's first is with last, blah, blah, blah. So it should be.
Yes,
that's what we're going to do.
That would be amazing.
Anyway, that's next
Let's do that for this beer set. Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea. Hopefully we remember it.
Could we do it for this beer set? Or is it too wild? Like, it's not wild. It's
probably too hard.
It's too
the last one.
Yeah.
There'll be people who will need to win and won't want to throw that away. Yeah, we'll put that in jeopardy.
All right, cool.
Yeah, interesting thoughts. Whoa, I've just seen something so interesting with Perrin's game week history.
What?
Perrin's game week history is a complete like metaphor for who he is as a person, right? Get it up. Now. Get it up on the screen.
Okay, hang on.
So we know that Perrin is like super engaged or just super like disengaged and Can't really be
He's
bothered.
got some great game week scores.
Let's look at his transfer history here.
Oh,
right?
where's
So
his transfer history? View transfer history. Okay. Yeah, here we go.
No. Go back to the game week history. But the transfer
Because then it tells you the numbers.
Go up. So transfers made, TM.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
0-1.
So look, just scroll down a bit. There's fine. So you've got from game week 11, 2 transfers, really engaged. Game week 12, nothing. Game week 13, 2 transfers, really engaged. Followed by a points hit. Game week
Really
15,
engaged.
nothing.
That's true.
Game week 16, really engaged. Game week 18, nothing.
But look at his ranking. It doesn't change whether he's engaged or not.
No, look at the game week rank. It does. Look at it.
Yeah, but he did nothing and he got a heaps good rank.
And have a look at the red and green arrows. Most of the red arrows, look at game week 17, game week 18 onwards. Green arrow, no moves. Game week 19, red arrow, 2 moves. Game week 20, red arrow, 2 moves.
Yeah.
Game week 21, green arrow, no moves. Game week 22, he made a move, got a red arrow.
Red. That's what you get.
Wow, that's so fascinating.
Interesting.
So we want to, I guess we're spotlighting this episode on Perrin, just by chance. He owes 6 beers, but we really think this guy has so much potential. If we look at here, Chips, he played a wild card, 24th September. Then nothing.
7 in the morning. What was he doing? The other day was clearly midway
On a
through the day.
Thursday, what's he doing?
And then 4th of January, free hit. So that means he's got a second wild card still, a bench boost, and a triple captain still to use. And I guess, we've got 5 weeks of the beer table to go. He's got 5 weeks to use 3 chips. He could be a real danger to anyone who's coming up against Perrin. So
who's Perrin play?
Who's Perrin play, Marcus?
You're the one on it.
No, if I go, okay, hang on.
Just hit back. Oh yeah, that, yeah.
Okay. His name is Crab Noir.
And then all
game weeks. Okay. He's got me this week.
Oh, you told me.
Then he's got Bailey.
Oh, these are walk in the park matches.
Walk in the park. Geordie, maybe walk in the park. Tom Job, maybe walk in Brett. Dude, he's gonna. Perrin, if you don't end up in the beer receiving zone, there's been a problem. You've done something wrong. Something drastically wrong.
No, but if you've learned anything, he's got to do nothing. Then he does well.
No, but he's got to play his chips.
Every time he does
4
something,
out of
he
the
loses.
next 5 game weeks.
Yeah.
4 out of the next 5 game weeks, Perrin is playing a fellow beer ower.
That's crazy.
He has the potential to really reduce the amount of times he's getting his credit card out.
What he should do?
Have you called him out of his slumber? Do you reckon now he's going to be engaged?
No, because we set this plan up. We were talking to each other last week. We set the plan up. 31, he's going to wild card. So build a nice team, get a nice bench. 32, bench boost. Sorry, 32, triple captain Kane.
Yep.
33, bench boost. With his good bench. And then hopefully he's
got Bailey in 32. Does Bailey have a triple captain?
No, Bailey's already used it. Let me go Bailey. Bailey has a bench boost left as well, Bailey.
Okay, so Bailey might want a bench boost in 32 to negate Perrin's triple captain.
Yeah. So be ready for that. Make your transfers now. Yeah, interesting. Let's look
Did
at
you see the group that the league that Bailey's a part of? Teams that have been pegged. Interesting. Bailey.
Teams that have been pegged.
I don't know if
I wonder if the loser gets pegged.
I don't know if that's been approved.
That allowed, and then other names get reported.
Wait, look at Bailey last year. He was 5.2 million.
Yeah. Well, I got a Nikolai's ranking again. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not as bad as Bailey. But I want to go to Lee as well.
That spotlight on Perrin. That's really interesting. Let's put the spotlight on someone else.
Let's put the spotlight on Brandon, someone who we feel like should be doing a lot better than he is, but just is down stuck now.
Guys, can I just quickly say something?
Yeah.
Brandon is on -5 beers.
Yeah.
Right. The most that he can earn is +4, which means that he'll definitely owe a beer.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to see Brandon owe a beer.
Yeah.
So I'm going to generously offer one of my beers to Brandon.
To Brandon.
But it's conditional.
If he gets 4, if he becomes the
We
top
need,
of
there are 18 people in this league, minus us 3, so there are 15 potential listeners. Out of 15,
he's got to beg every day for it.
Do you reckon he's got a beg? I was going to say I need 10 people in the chat to say that they've watched the pod and they love the pod.
That's good.
Yeah, but why are they going to do it for Brandon? I don't care if he gets a beer.
Well, he needs to get them to help him.
And he's got to go like 5-0 this 5 weeks.
Okay, maybe not 10, because what's their motivation? I'm going to say I'll say less than half, 7.
Okay, or he's got to make a video of himself every single day.
A video of himself, yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Okay, a video of himself every single day. Done.
No, but dude, I don't mean to like usurp your thing. I mean, like, it's pretty funny, the idea of him messaging privately being like, hey, can you put Ask Ryan? Dude, he's going to do either one of those things. Say that.
Okay, either one.
He gets 5 or 7, whatever. Yeah.
Brandon Diaz, this is what I'm offering you, mate. I don't want to see you owe a beer, so I will offer you one of my beers, which means that you have the potential to come out of this thing without owing any beers. But if you want one of my beers, you'll need to do one of these 2 things. The first, you'll need to record a video of yourself begging me for a beer and put it in the chat every day between when this video goes up and the game week commencing. Or you need to get 6 other people, including yourself, that's 7. So 7 people to message in the league chat and say that they watched the pod and they love the pod. If you can do one of those 2 things, I will give you one of my beers.
It's kind of confusing, but yeah, I like it.
It's kind of confusing.
Hey, if you're so generous, Ryan, why don't you give him all your beers?
If he goes 5-0, he can have all of them.
What if he goes 4-1? Half of them?
No.
No.
There's no way he's going 5-0.
Should we spin the wheel now?
Who's gone? I've gone 5-0 once. Did anyone else do it again?
Parlay, I think, did it.
Yeah, Parley did it.
Oh,
Crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
How funny is that? Like, we're pretty not impressive, and we've gone 5-0.
Before we go to the wheel spin, let's put the spotlight on a couple more people, but let's put it on a couple of people who are hovering in that they're just in the receiver zone or they're just in the owing zone. So let's have a look at Luke Wheeler.
Okay.
Yeah, pod favorite Luke Wheeler.
We love Lukey. So he's currently owed 3 beers, thanks in part to his recent performances. So he's in good form, Luke Wheeler. Does he have any chips left?
He's also got 2. You got triple captain and a second wild card still left.
Jeez.
Wow. He's in some good hands.
What leagues are he in? What leagues was he in? Like on the side?
He's just in our league.
Oi.
Always cheating.
Always
Super
cheating.
League.
He's cheating. That's where he's getting his information from.
Let's go to his. If we go to his fixtures.
Oh, is that a podcast?
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty well-known one, like pretty popular one. He's top 3,000 in Australia as well, Lukey Wheeler.
Ooh.
Game week 1. How do
I
we go?
think he's got
tech support.
He's got me this week.
How do we go all game weeks?
Right at the top.
Hang on.
What is going on with you?
I can't see it.
There it is. Click it.
Okay, keep this part in.
It's. Hang on.
I can
There we
see
go.
the mouse like freaking out or something.
Okay. Lukey has. He's got Ryan this week. Then he's got Brandon. Oh, poor Brandon. Bailey, Brian. Oh, he's got easy beats as well.
What a run!
Oh, that's the dream run.
What a run!
Okay. So maybe
Wild card this week for you, Luke.
Yeah, probably wild card
That's
against
Ryan.
Ryan.
That's him.
And then he'll triple captain 32 versus poor Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. What about Nikolai? He's on 2.
Nikolai.
Look at him there. Oh, well.
His name is
Invincibles.
The Invincibles. They're stupid. Okay. He's got Tom Job, Marcus, Lucas, Harley, and me. Some tough ones.
Tough
That's a mixed
games.
bag.
Got me the last week. That's going to be crazy last week. Yeah.
Jeez, he's lucky he versed Lee this week. Look at that, 39 and 30.
Yeah. Oh, he got away with murder this week, Nikolai.
Yeah, he did.
Absolute murder.
Snake-like.
Nikolai has a triple captain left. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, what time's he makes these transfers? Pretty late. Tuesday, slacking off at work, 12 o'clock.
Midnight, wild card.
11:30. Yeah, good times.
Hey, just have a look at the overall rank there. So Luke Wheeler is ranked higher than Nikolai. Isn't that interesting?
Epping FC Fantasy. Ooh. He got kicked out of that team.
Did he get kicked out?
No, not kicked out, but I thought he played for St Andrews.
Yeah, he does now, yeah.
Oof.
Why did he play for St Andrews?
Eastwood St Andrews. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Game of dreams.
Should we move on to the wheel spin?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, so the Wheel of Fortune is back. And by popular demand, Luke Wheeler, I know you'll be happy to hear that. We have made one change to the to the Wheel of Fortune prizes and punishment wheel. We have added the beer table swap. Now, this is so interesting. The beer table swap means that if you win your feature match, then you will go. How do I describe it?
You'll move up a place on the beer. You'll move up.
Yes, correct. There we go. If you win your feature match, you will move up one place in the beer overall table. So right now we can see that Marcus, he is owed 5 beers. If he wins the feature match, then he will move up to be owed 10 beers.
That's only if the person above him loses, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And if Baker is in the feature match and loses, does he also swap with me if I win?
Yes. Correct.
Yes.
So if you win the feature match, you go up and the person above you comes down, only if they lose their other match.
Yeah.
If you lose the feature match, you go down, but only if the person below you wins their feature match. So
there's going to be anarchy. This is anarchy. I'm thinking about it
I
more.
love it.
The thought of like the people who've like worked this hard, you're going to piss someone off, which could be funny. Anyway, but that's what this FPL league's about. Just having one authoritative leader. It takes away.
But look, the chances of dropping or rising too high aren't that great because most people above you or below you are either on the same or just 1 or 2 above or below. So don't stress too much. Those beers that you've worked hard to earn won't evaporate, or they shouldn't. Yeah. If you win your head-to-head, you're safe. Do you want to make a quick addition that you jump? No, this won't work. That you jump up with the person. So let's say you're coming 5th and you win. Then 4th and 3rd win, but 2nd lose.
You're
That's insane.
That's too much.
I think it's too much because that'll actually move people from like 0-10 to like possibly the beer zone, which would be nah.
Nah. Let's leave it.
Too mad with power.
Yeah.
Let's go a little bit mad with power.
Cool. All right, let's spin the wheel and see. We know the others. We know it's a beer. We know it's dyed hair. We know it's flower delivery. Remember the beer, you only get a beer owed to you if you win by 10 or more points. Let's spin the wheel and see what prize or punishment will be selected for Game Week 31. Let's do it.
It'll be rigged and it's never going to land on it.
Here we go.
Yeah, we'll beat, brother. Never, we're just going to drop it out.
Jumping. No.
Is it going to stop?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, there we go. Beer table swap.
The beer table swap.
That's
What are
good.
the
That's
chances
interesting.
of that?
I know. What about and no one's safe. Everyone can be picked for the next part, right?
Everyone can be picked. Everyone can be picked. Wow. Okay, so here we have the Wheel of Fortune Faces wheel. Now, remember, whoever is selected by the wheel, they and their matchup for Game Week 31 are the feature match. And the winner of that will move up on the beer table and the loser will move down. depending on how other results go. This is perhaps our most important wheel spin of the season.
It is.
Yeah, bloody hell.
Tommy, who are you versing this week?
I'm versing. Who did I say I was versing? Perrin. I'm versing Perrin. So,
Okay, so you don't want Perrin.
Yeah, it's like high risk, high reward, eh? Like,
well, I also
I
won't be too damaged where I moved down a spot. It's just Nikolai, who has one beer fewer than me.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And I think I have Luke Wheeler, so I'd like it to avoid Luke Wheeler.
Yeah.
With a wild card in store, he's probably going to beat me this week. What about you, Marcus? Do you know who you're versing this week?
No, I don't.
You're versing Brian.
Oh, Brian. Yeah, actually, we saw that. He probably has a lot of chips left, I'd imagine, if he's got a dead team. And if he finds out about this, he'll want to win. But I could go up, so I think I do want it to land on me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or if you go up, you go to 10.
Yeah, which is insane.
You are in the best
that is going to
position
piss.
here.
That is going to piss. Is it Baker? It's going to piss.
Yeah, it's Baker.
I'm sorry, bro, in advance.
Well, let's spin the wheel and see who will be in the feature match for Game Week 31. Oh, man, I just hope it's not Luke Wheeler or me.
You pick it now. Who do you reckon? Who's it on?
It's on
Tom
Parlay.
Mulheron. Tom Mulheron, you got it, bro. Just passed you.
Go! Parlay!
Lame. Who's he playing?
He's playing. Brandon.
Oh, no. Parlay's playing me. That sucks.
That was Brandon.
No, like Parlay's below me, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Brandon.
Brandon always gets selected by the wheel.
Oh, true.
Oh,
A few chips, I imagine.
Brandon. Oh, poor Brandon. I can't believe that. He's been selected probably 3 out of 4 of the times that we've done this wheel.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Damn, well, I hope he wins it.
So what's the potential damage here? So Parlay could go from 4 beers to 5.
Yeah.
Or could go from 4 to 3.
And Brandon could go from -2 to -3 to -2 or -3 to -4.
Okay. Yep. That's pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, and the guys around them have the chance to benefit too. So there's a lot of interest in the Parlay versus Brandon matchup this week.
That's yeah.
And before we go, we do love shout outs here at the Tight 15. So we're just going to do a star of the week. Each of us will pick someone who has stood out, who has shone brightest as the star of the week. Marcus, who do you have in mind as your star of the week?
My star of the week is someone I wish who didn't shine so bright this week. It's Durry. He got a 1-point win, and he's actually been very impressive in how he goes. I think we always say like Lee's quite a yo-yo in the league, but I find that Durry's performances have been very yo-yo-esque as well. This was another great week from him. I think he got top 5. And he's been pretty consistent recently, I think. Although I haven't seen stats, but I think he's done well to keep pulling it out after 30 weeks. And how many beers is he owing at the moment, actually? I assume he is owing
5. He's owing 5.
He's owing 5, but that's far less than how things began.
Yeah.
I remember he was an easy beat. You'd look forward to a matchup with Dave Murray in the past, but not anymore.
Yeah.
How about you, Tom?
Yeah, my star of the week is Simeon. I think knocking off Luke Wheeler, stopping him from getting a 5-0 clean sweep of this cycle was really good. Especially Simeon just rising up and getting himself some beers. He was telling me as well, he is really gunning it he wants to make these playoffs, get in the top 8. I told him it was top 8. I'm pretty sure, we'll see what happens. He's now 10th now. He's rising every week. He had a big win against Luke. He is someone to look out for. He's my star of the week because he's really hitting his straps at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just outside. So you get 3 points for a win.
Yeah.
Simeon is on 42 and 8th place is on 49. So there's a little bit of a gap.
Yeah.
There's a traffic jam between 3rd, which is you, Tom, on 52, and Marcus, who is 8th on 49. There's literally just one win there from 3rd to 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you?
Yeah, that's cool. Simeon, star of the week. And for me, the star of the week, it's 2 people, but they're rolled into one because they're the Paxton brothers. Nikolai shone quite dimly, but enough to get a 9-point win over Lee. 39 points to 30. Look, it doesn't matter how many points you win by, as the big daddies have been saying all season. You just need to know when you turn up. And the other one is Parlay. Parlay and Nikolai are firmly entrenched in the top 8, and they're looking like they'll be playing finals, potentially against each other. And it's good to see that at least one set of brothers are doing themselves and their parents proud in the FPL this season.
Not like that. Sorry, Ryan. I know we said the last thing, but final last thing. As a fantasy football extraordinaire yourself, do you have any picks for this week? Any helpful insights for any people particularly considering a wild card?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question. Yes. So if you do have a wild card, my advice is that Game Week 31 right now is a good time to play it. There's the potential to play it later, but the wild card is the most powerful chip, right? And if you play it in Game Week 35, well, it's almost finals time for us. And if you care about overall rank, there's only 3 or 4 game weeks left in the season to maximize the benefit. I think if you've got a wild card, you play it now. Some of the best players to target this week, in my opinion, number 1 would be Diogo Jota from Liverpool. He looks just like Perrin. So if you don't know what he looks like, picture Perrin in a Liverpool shirt, and that's what Jota looks like. He would be someone that I'm looking for. The Chelsea defence as well. Look, they conceded 5 goals to West Brom, but I think Chelsea are still one of the strongest defences in the league. And so I would be looking at Azpilicueta or Rudiger if you want to save some money. In the Chelsea defence, I don't think doubling up is an issue there. I also think Trent Alexander-Arnold is coming into some great form. He's expensive, and he's not someone that those without a wild card can easily get. So I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a good option. If I had a wild card, I'd be definitely having 2, if not 3, Liverpool players in my team. Midfield is where it's at. There are lots of good options in midfield at the moment, whereas up front, you've got Harry Kane. That's about it. Mikel Antonio's injured now. Watkins from Aston Villa has some tough fixtures. So if I was on a wild card, I'd be tempted to play 3-5-2 with Vardy and Harry Kane up front with a cheap 3rd striker and try and spread my funds. I could talk more, but if you've got any questions about your wild card, feel free to send them through. There are some other guys on wild card at the moment, Lucas being one of them. So Lucas is doing really well in his overall rank. And if you've got some questions, feel free to send it to him.
Hey, thanks for that.
That's okay.
Helpful. That's one of the rare times we actually talk about fantasy football.
Yeah. Oh, and in goals, I would definitely pick Mendy from Chelsea. And I would also pick Fraser Forster from Southampton. He's 4.0. He's a starting goalkeeper. He's the cheapest goalkeeper that actually plays every week. And he might not get heaps of points, but he's a good backup and he'll save you some money rather than keeping Martinez and all these other guys who don't have very good fixtures.
Wait, what did you say, the midfield? You just said there's a lot of guys.
Oh, in midfield. So if I was on a wild card, this would probably be my midfield. Salah, I would have Son just for the double in Game Week 32. Then I would have Lingard. I just think he's playing so well at the moment. I would have Jota. And then I would have, if I could afford it, Bruno Fernandes. So Bruno Fernandes, Salah, Jota, Son, and Lingard. 5 big hitters in midfield. But if you can't afford the Bruno Fernandes pick, then I would maybe look at someone like Pedro Neto from Wolves. He's got some really good matches coming up. I would potentially have a look at who else has got some good games.
What about Tottenham? Someone with the double.
I wouldn't go for anyone other than Son or Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are probably the
Team-
main guys.
How many teams do you reckon will line up exactly like that this week?
I think quite a few. I think there's a template forming.
Yeah.
It's Mendy, Forster in goals, Chelsea defender, maybe a Wolves defender, West Ham defender. Yeah, there's a template forming.
Yeah.
I've just I've already made a transfer this week. I wasn't going to share this. There's a goalkeeper transfer. I brought in Lucas Fabianski from West Ham.
Oh,
They have some great fixtures. Not the next two because I got City, but after the next couple of weeks, they've got a great finish. And West Ham, good defense. They're up in 4th position now. I really think, as a big player difference, Fabianski in goals, I'm going to move up some ranks with this guy.
Why didn't you just get him in 2 weeks' time? Why'd you do him now?
Because I had Areola now, and I don't want to use Areola because he's got a blank coming up. Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Hopefully it works.
You can say what you want, but just watch what happens.
yeah, interesting. Fabianski is a great goalkeeper for sure. I think, yeah, it's not a bad option. The only thing I would say is that Declan Rice from West Ham, he's injured and he's going to be out for the next 4 weeks. And Declan Rice and Souček in midfield are like the dynamic duo.
Yeah.
And West Ham will be forced to play Mark Noble instead. And he's like 34, 35, close to retirement. But
Best transfer, Tom.
Oh, crap.
they're still
Rollback
very good
Can't roll back
defense. I don't
too.
think it's a bad transfer. And look, Tom, you've made some transfer decisions this year, and I've thought maybe not a great idea, but you're 3rd in the table and I'm 4th.
Yeah.
So who am I?
Sorry, they're not playing City. They got Leicester. That's all right.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Chelsea, then Burnley, then Everton, then the last
that's
3,
good.
Brighton, West Brom, Southampton for the playoffs.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah,
Sweet
it's
as.
it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move.
Anyway,
Yeah, good thoughts. If I was on a wild card, I would have no City players.
yep, I've got
Really?
no
Why?
Yeah. No,
I reckon
well-
rotation.
Rotation's going to be huge.
and I got a blank as well.
Yeah. One thing I will say, though, is that Leeds concede a lot of goals from set pieces. And a few weeks ago, West Ham played Leeds. Remember Craig Dawson scored a goal. He hit the post. Creswell got an assist. And he got maximum bonus points because he's on set pieces. So this week, Leeds are playing Man City, I believe.
Yeah.
If you do have someone like Diaz, then playing them isn't the worst idea because if they do play, they're a set piece threat. Same for John Stones as well. So if you've got these guys, there's no hurt in playing them. But beyond 31, I wouldn't keep them because they blank in 33 and the rotation will be huge.
2 months.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed this different vibe, this different
Tranquil
style of
edition.
Type 15. Have a great game week. This is the final set of the season. You need to pull out the big guns, get those chips out, get them ready to go, because this is your last chance to earn some more beers or to work off the beers that you already own. Have a great week, and we will see you hopefully before the season ends.
Yes.
Take care.
See you
Ciao,
guys.
ciao.